For years, Linda and I have carried this little barbecue here. It's so small, but it's kind of a mess to put together. Oops. Handling these blackened, greasy parts all the time. By the time it's together, you're kind of a mess. And the worst part about it is, when you've got a steak on here, a couple steaks on here, you can't feed the fire or tend the fire at all without removing this and your steaks to try to get to the coals underneath. So we wanted something better, and this one looks like it's going to work out pretty good. Let me go clean up here. At least this one, I can get in here with the tongs and move the coals around and tend it. We're using charcoal today. When we're camping, I'd probably be using just wood that I pick up out in the forest and cook over those coals, but this will work for right now. Trying this out for the first time. I'm learning as I go here. I just noticed that there's a lip on each side here that this tray, this coal tray, fits on, and when I set it on there, it actually raised it up by an inch or an inch and a half, making the coals closer to the grill, and I can still get in there with the tongs and move those coals around, and that is what was important to me.
Whew. Okie dokie. Let's see how this works.
That is one fat New York steak. That's going to feed the both of us for sure. It's huge.
Yeah, for days.
Yeah.
Well, we're using this grill to replace that little one we had because it wasn't working out, that little one. This one looks pretty good so far. Yeah?
It does. It's bigger. You can, like the other one would only fit that steak.
Yeah. Yeah, and the zucchini won't go on till that's almost done.
Well, I could have put a few more coals on there, but that's how you learn. It's going to do all right though, because that steak is, I got it up on its side right now, but it's really thick.
Zucchini.
Well, we just bought that grill because we liked it. It's called a Flame Box. I'll put a link in the video description down below. And it also came with this nice canvas bag that keeps any mess nicely contained. So anyways, that's that. But while we're talking about stoves, let's just talk about the stoves that we've gone through in our little camper over the years and what was right or wrong about each one. A lot of folks have used stoves like this. 2 burners, pretty cheap. This was our first stove. I mean, it works great, you know. There, it's going already, I think, there, but yeah. Yeah, boils water fast. What's not to like? Well, it's unwieldy, it's big. You have to put it together every time you use it. And it took up all of the available counter space in our little trailer. I didn't like this protuberance on the back that you had to screw in all the time, and then you had to screw the bottle into that, and it's hanging out here. It just looks unwieldy, you know? So it was just, yeah, too much. For the weekend camping crowd, I think this is probably fine. It didn't work for us. Well, we went to a single burner stove like this one. I mean, these are all over the place. You can buy them at any hardware store, Walmart, whatever. And they usually have a plastic base on them with big feet. But when you stick a pot on the top, like this one, now the thing is really tall and unwieldy, and they tend to tip over. Even with that plastic base, they tip right out of that plastic base. Well, we solved that by modifying a table so it would fit down in like that. Absolutely perfect. You know, you have to reach underneath the table, turn it on, you know, but that was no big deal. No more tipping over. But there was still a problem. The problem was there's no room in the trailer for this table, and I didn't want to cut into my countertop in the trailer. So we couldn't cook inside. All of our cooking had to be done outside. And that takes us to our next choice. That would be one of these little gas one stoves. I'm sure there's other brands, but this is the most popular one, I think. This is a 15,000 BTU. I think you can get them like 8 or 10,000 BTUs. This one we use mainly in conjunction with our Coleman portable oven. But of course it's really handy because, well, for one thing, it uses butane like this, and they're readily available at Walmart, and they last a long time. These stoves are really popular with sous chefs because you can simmer on them. You can throttle them way down a lot lower than you can with a propane stove like this. You can't really simmer too well on one of these. This one, you can throttle it way down so you can simmer on it. And then it's just easy to use. Gas on, and it's lit just like that. Super, super easy. So what's wrong with this stove? Not much. This one still goes with us. This is a preferred method of cooking for us. It's small. It's totally self-contained with the bottle right here on the side and everything. It'll boil water really fast. This one being 15,000 BTUs. This one still goes with us. But the main thing we use this gas one for these days is for this Coleman portable oven. And it works really well for that. So Linda can bake. I like it when Linda bakes.
In addition to the cooktops that we use in our trailer, I also use these rice cookers. They look like pressure cookers, but they are rice cookers. I use these a lot. These are the so-called newer ones. This is a littler one. This one uses only 300 watts. It's very small, and I use it mostly to cook rice for the two of us, although I have made cakes out of this. This rice cooker holds 2 cups of cooked rice. This is a bigger one, and this one uses only 460 watts of power. And this one holds 3 cups of cooked rice. And I've made stews, cakes, breads. You can make your ramen noodles in here. These type of cookers are very versatile. What I like about them when we're in the trailer, camped in the trailer, and it's hot outside and I want to bake something, this does not put out any sort of heat source in the trailer, so it's very nice. Also, you can take your little power station and take it outside and plug these into them and do your cooking outside as well. So you might consider adding rice cooker to your cooking arsenal.
But what we finally ended up with, and what works the best by far, is an induction cooktop. I mean, we've got solar on the roof and good house batteries and a good inverter. This is by far the best. Unlike a regular burner, electric burner that has to heat up an element, this one heats up just about immediately. And the cool thing about it is it matters what size pot you put on. For example, if I put on this pot, the burner, it'll stay kind of cool out here, but it'll provide heat all underneath this size pot. If I put on this coffee pot, which is what we make our coffee in all the time, it concentrates all the power right through this small area right here. So it doesn't heat up the whole burner just to heat this up. So if you got solar and you've got some batteries, there's no reason to go with anything else besides like an induction cooktop. They're just so efficient. They boil water fast and you can simmer on them. They're pretty good. By the way, that big New York steak was fantastic. It was really good. Anyways, I was just barbecuing, but it got me to thinking about the different ways that we've cooked on board this trailer. So I hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around.